I knew I shouldn't have got married when I got married. I knew that wasn't the right woman. I'll be 100% honest. I can blame it on a gang of shit about her not being right or whatever. Her. James Shelby knew that she wasn't the right one. And so, in hindsight, I asked myself, why did I do that? And I got to answer that honestly when I ask the question, right? A lot of the men who I know who are going through a divorce or who have gone through a divorce, the majority of the ones, I'm talking about like, I can't even remember somebody saying they didn't know. Mm-hmm. Most men, all the men that I can think of in hindsight, knew that the person that they were marrying, that there was something off, that there wasn't the right one.
That's true.
And so when I talk to women about, and when I say that to a woman, when I say, oh, I knew I shouldn't have got married when I got married, they're like, why the hell did you do it? I'd be like, mm-hmm. Do you know how many motherfuckers are still going through this shit? Mm-hmm. Especially it's some dudes who ain't never been married before, right? Mm-hmm. I talked to a dude, we got a homeboy, and I was telling him, he was like, dude, why would you do that? That sounds silly as hell. And I'm like, most motherfuckers are marrying people they know they shouldn't marry. And so I'm asking the question in regards to like when, and because I feel like somewhere through the process, we're choosing a life experience in order to learn something from. When we get in these situations with these women and our kids are being used as pawns and the judicial system is being weaponized in a way that doesn't put us in the best situation, it's easy for us to say, fuck that bitch. Not to say that anybody's saying that, but it's easy to say that. It's easy to say you lied to me, you betrayed me, you hurt my feelings, or whatever the fuck it is. You ain't shit. But when you follow them motherfucking breadcrumbs back to that gingerbread house, I don't know if I'm adding fairy tales or not.
You mixing them, dog.
Like, I feel like there's an opportunity there as the individuals, because even as we're doing this shit and having these conversations and talking about, it's from the male side, right? It's from one side of the story, and I feel like what keeps the conversation clean and loving is reminding ourselves that these women also have a story, and they also have pain, and they also got breadcrumbs that they need to follow back, and they also have parts of the story that they have to own and be responsible for if they want to heal and create a better space for their kids. But this is the only motherfucking side that we can control.
But here's it's so many different things. What you said was profound. So many different things to unpack, because we get held accountable. Men, we get held accountable for the things that we do wrong. And what often happens is that they don't get held accountable for what they are doing wrong.
100%.
And we're talking about the churches too. The churches are not holding these type of people, because not all black women are not like this. They're beautiful, wonderful, and amazing moms and wives that are doing an excellent job. But what happens is that, these people are able to perpetrate like they are a good mom, a good wife, because nobody's checking them, nobody's questioning these things. So they're able to slip off into the darkness and continue to do these things. And what's happening is that the children are traumatized because they can just get away with it. They know they can get away with it. That's the thing. I know that I can get away with it. You're not going to catch me. I'm too slick. Courts are going to help me. The church is going to back me up. And my family is too. And my friends.
And there's a narrative that's told both to them and by them that will paint them as a victim. There are movies, countless books, it's a narrative that everybody sort of believes. So even they do.
Yeah.
So they, in their mind, they don't see what they're doing as, they see themselves as a victim. So now they're moving in this way that we might see one way, but they don't see it that way. It's, and I can't quite put I say this, in these relationships, dog, these people, these women see the best of us, and they also see the worst of us in these very intimate, close marriages, relationships, and vice versa. We see the best of them, and we see the worst of them. We don't necessarily see our worst in the same way that they see our worst, right? And vice versa. We don't see,
That's a good point.
they don't see our worst in the same way that we see our worst. We see our worst as whatever, mistakes or whatever it is.
Did that go to Love Is Blind?
I don't know if, because it's not, because
They say
even
that
when it's
love is-
all over and said and done and everybody's moved on, like in situations, they're still dealing with that. There's trauma that they're dealing, just like we do, right? That they're dealing with, that they haven't quite worked through. Their expression of that is what you're dealing with, is the courts and trying to retaliate and hurt and all of that. That's sort of how they deal with whatever they're going through. How we deal with it is way different. Like sometimes we don't. We just push the shit way down and we get into these conversations of fuck that bitch.